Hey, everybody, welcome to the AAA episode 233. He doesn't do dignity. And joining me is, hold on, Sinatra, there.
Hello.
How's things?
Things are.
Yeah?
That's all I can really say. It's, things are. They just are.
Predictably proceeding as they have before?
More or less, predictably unpredictable, chaotic in a comforting way, if that makes sense.
I don't know, man. I listen to you sometimes, and I'm not going to lie. I think this is why I don't have kids. Now, that's not really why I don't have kids, but that's what I tell myself. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a fair presumption, honestly. Like, there's times where I'm like, yeah, I wish I could beat you. But like, you're so lucky. You're so lucky I'm not an asshole.
But
that thought occurs to me so often, and I know it probably shouldn't.
You mean, do you think this towards your children?
And I tell them.
Okay. Yeah.
I actively tell, like, do you know how lucky you are that I'm not how other people are raised? Because, like, I ask you to do one thing and you just can't do it for some reason.
Yeah.
You just cannot figure out how to do it.
Yeah. Chat's asking, where is Drunkle? It's a very good question. It's just Sinatra caught my attention with the whole living hell of fatherhood
correctly?
and whatnot. He said he would be a little late, so we expect his arrival imminently. And yeah, so when he's here, you'll know.
People are saying my audio's fucked up.
It doesn't sound fucked up. Are you real quiet?
Let me pull up the watch page.
Oh yeah, you are hard limited. You're pretty quiet. Come on, I got you turned down in Discord or something crazy like that. No, I don't. What are you doing? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I got you turned down in Windows. What did you think this was? A quality stream? You're wrong.
They said I was crackly.
Oh, I do have you turned down in Windows, which I don't anymore. Let's see if that...
Yeah, I'm using one of my different interfaces that sounds better when I record into Audacity, but its input into Discord is yet to be seen.
Do you have a hard limiter running? Like you were hitting a certain level and then hard stopping. Like you're cut off at a certain decibel level.
Possibly. Hold on, let me try something. That would be this to this.
That's the Shure 7B, ladies and gentlemen. When you only want the top quality in voice reproduction microphone technology, sure. It's a sure bet.
How does this sound?
Ooh, smoother. What'd you do?
I changed my input to go through voice meter as opposed to directly in.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a big difference. Why would running it... Sorry, Chad, I want to know. Why is running it through voice meter making that much of a difference?
I don't know. I think it has its own input as a little bit of a compression, so it kind of clears up any audio going through.
I mean, because I have voice meter, and I was spectacularly unimpressed with the adjustments that it had available. It looked like treble and bass, and I was like, really? That's it? Why would I run this?
Because you have to do your output through voice meter, and it doesn't do it automatically. You probably didn't do it, because at first I was like, oh, wow, this sounds the same. I'm like, oh, I'm not using it. That's why.
Yeah, but who wants to do that? Always have all of your audio output going through that your audio device is now voice meter?
Every single input and output I have runs through voice meter.
Like movies, YouTube
Everything.
videos, everything. Yeah, who wants to live like that?
I do, because it also makes it super simple. I don't have to switch output. I could just go, oh, I'm taking my headphones off. I'm going to turn up my speakers, and oh, I'm just going to turn on my receiver right here and have it play through my big speakers.
All right, we'll talk more about this later. I just understand. So, I mean, that means every time you've got your computer running that you want audio, meaning every time you've got your computer running, you have to be running voice meter.
Yeah.
Like I said, what kind of way is that to live?
Once you get used to it, there is absolutely no turning back.
Do you know what a colostomy bag is?
Yeah, it's a shit bag.
Yeah, okay, that's
also
like
known as trunkle.
That's like living life with a colostomy bag. It's always strapped on you. You
bag
can't
was
go...
a marked improvement.
Well, okay, listen. The options are shitting all over yourself or shitting into a bag that you always got to have on you. Okay? Yes, that's an improvement, but not any way that anyone wants to live.
Why are you viewing voice meter as a detriment when it is a marked improvement in everything?
Again, it is a marked, in your words, improvement to be shitting into a bag as opposed to all over yourself and anyone else who's near, looking at you, Biden, near the Pope. But it's still walking around with a shit bag strapped to your leg is no way to live, is what I'm saying. Like, there has to be a simpler way, and there is. It's called a functioning sphincter.
Why is it a shit bag, though?
Voice meter is a shit bag.
Which one are you running?
I don't know. When I went to the website like a couple months back, download the latest version, and it's like, all right, I will.
Voice meter banana, in my opinion, is the way to go for it.
It was banana,
that's
actually.
What I use.
Now that you mention that, it was banana. Yeah.
And here, I'll give you another example. Make sure this is up and running correctly. Just got to turn this on real quick. Okay, reading it there. Have to click it there. Yep. Okay, I'm going away from my SM7B. This microphone is on a completely different interface with a mixer board running into my computer, and I can still use it just fine.
Yeah, but you sound like AM Poly.
Yeah, because that was an AT2020.
That can't be just the difference of the USB input.
No, they're both USB inputs. The AT2020 is running on my Yamaha. My SM7B is going through my Focusrite.
That's the difference between the quality of a Yamaha versus a Focusrite.
No, I switched between the Yamaha and the Focusrite over the past week, and literally no one noticed. I think it's just a difference in the SM7B to the AT2020 when polished and zhushed up properly.
Wow. Because, I mean, individually clipped out and played, this is the AT2020, here's this. And then you going back, like, my God, that was...
I'm lying. I'm lying. Hold on. Oh, my God.
You have to go back and listen to the live stream. Jesus.
I was using my AT2020 to record something last week, and I had the audio effects turned on. Here it is.
You asshole. You were AM Sinatra.
I literally had it set to AM radio. But yeah, I have two separate interfaces running at the same time going through voice meter.
Wow. All right.
But yeah, I did have AM audio filters on. I just forgot.
I recall it. Okay, yeah.
Super smart moment on my part.
Yeah. Anyway, so there it is. Welcome to our podcast on microphone quality. Through the wire.
Between the XLR. Through the wire. That's so much better. But no, yeah, we'll talk later on.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the finer points of loving your life with voice meter banana.
It does sound like an advertisement you'd see at the hospital. New to a colostomy bag, come to our group session. Loving life while having a shit bag strapped to your lap. Yeah.
It doesn't pull heavy resources. It just runs in the background. And my favorite part about it, besides how good it makes me sound, is I can switch my audio outputs without going, okay, go to settings, go to sound settings, go to default devices, change default. I just do it. Like, look, I'm just going to turn on my speakers, even though it's a completely different thing. I'm going to turn them back off, and it works.
Huh. Okay, so one last question. In our podcast, Through the Wire, when you are changing, you didn't have voice meter running, and then you did. You didn't have to go into Windows and change your audio device? How did you turn it on then?
It's already running, because that's how I'm hearing you.
Okay.
I
okay,
just
all
went to Discord and changed. Oops.
Haven't seen this one in a while. Fucking awesome. Boom. Your boy Pat. Thank you very much for the $18. Been a second since I've seen this donation. Yeah, right. Also, F for Ranting Monkey, his Twitter account was suspended. Oh, fuck. He's got to be in double digits at this point in Twitter. Oh, easily in Twitter suspensions.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I remember the real hard one he got for it was 90 plus days when he told someone they're more sensitive than a clit.
I remember that.
Thank you, Pat. It's just, yeah, F's in chat for Ranting Monkey. I mean, the man does love his Twitter. Ranting Monkey getting a Twitter suspension is like Sinatra having the volume of his colostomy bag cut in half. He's just not living life the way he's normally used to. Oh, look.
That's accurate.
Yeah. Before we went live.
Let's do this.
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Thank you, Blackout 8879 for the 1050 and the Priest Crip Walk. Polly, how's your day? It's been terrible. It's been full of work I didn't want to do and stuff I didn't want to see and things that I didn't want to have to take care of, but did anyway. And I'm here now, so that's been my day. I've been lying here
You've got the finer points of parenthood down.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you have this thing that I like to call fulfillment. I just did big air quotes. Is it true?
Mostly.
Okay. Well, that's probably what I'm missing out on. He goes on to say, I've been lying here in bed all day watching World War II era movies, Dunkirk, Hacksaw Ridge, and Saving Private Ryan. That's me. No, that's Drunkle's bit. Okay, Sin, favorite World War II era movie. Go.
Ooh.
Well, not favorite. Something you'd be happy to put at number one, even if there's something else you think of later. How about that?
Not a movie, but I have to pick Band of Brothers.
Okay, yeah. Right, yeah. There's a bunch of shit like that. Okay, best Western of all time. Deadwood doesn't count as the best Western because it's not a movie. You understand what I'm saying? It's a 3-season series plus a movie. But yeah, it's still the best Western of all time, arguably.
Exactly.
I hear you. I get your point. Man, have you...
Best Western, though, is Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That's not even a competition, though.
Okay, so are you someone who believes there's a difference between the best and your favorite?
Yes.
Okay. I argue the best Western of all time is High Noon. If you want the thing that encapsulates the entire genre in one film and has influenced every other film, you've never seen a Western before, what would you show somebody? I'd give them High Noon. But it's not my favorite.
Okay, do modern Westerns count to this? Because I think I'm going to change my answer.
You know what? Because I'm a massive Western fan, I always break up the eras. There's the original eras, like we're talking, almost... Look at that. Ooh, hell yeah. Ooh, that's how I feel like drinking today. Look at that. Flameheart, thank you for the $10 and the Sexy Jessica Alba taking a slug right out the bottle, as God intended. Just wanted to inform you guys for reasons. I had a biopsy. Had a biopsy last Friday on a mole on my right temple. Results came back today. Positive for fucking melanoma. Freaking sucks. Yeah. I was hoping you were going to go into basal stem, the most benign form of skin cancer, and instead it came back melanoma. The most deadly.
Well, thanks for bringing the mood down.
Yeah, Flameheart, that's Jesus. Being somebody who's had skin cancer, I can tell you, I can personally sympathize. That sucks, man. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's no bueno, dude. Sorry to hear it.
So now I feel bad. All right, so back to Westerns. I just, you know what I mean? And that's why cowboys wore their hats. Moving along. Yeah, I'm going to
the Sisters Brothers.
Yeah, I have to break it into 3 eras, like original radio pulp silent film era, like all the way up to the John Ford classics, like High Noon and stuff. Early era. Mid era is the spaghetti westerns, the 60s with the early John Wayne stuff, all the way into the spaghetti westerns, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Sierra Leone. That's a blood-drenched region in Africa, not a director.
Yeah.
The Man with No Name trilogy and so forth, all of the Clint Eastwood classics, and then modern era, 90s up till today. So Unforgiven, Silverado, Pale Rider, fucking Open Range, list goes on. 3 years.
If you haven't seen The Sisters Brothers, I absolutely recommend that.
I haven't even heard of it. The Sisters Brothers.
Yeah, it's Joaquin Phoenix and the guy who always plays Will Smith's sidekick.
Paul Rubens.
John C. Reilly.
Oh, I was way off.
It's very good.
Fucking TA Brokeback Mountain. No one believes you for a second that that's your favorite fucking Western, man. Nobody. Why doesn't JK have a hammer? I'm just looking.
It's a good question.
Yeah. All right. Now, gayest person on YouTube doesn't have a hammer, but or wrench, but you know why.
Oh. He knows why.
Well, yeah.
He knows what he did.
Have you noticed that they brought back Go to Channel for people?
Yes, I did.
Weird, huh? I mean,
it's... yeah, I mean, that's a word for it.
You know what? Speaking of, okay, I just gave JK a wrench. He brings up Tombstone in all caps, so he yelled it at us. No, Wyatt Earp. I said it. It's a better film. Same era, same guys, same story. Which one's better presented? Kevin Costner's Wyatt Earp. Now,
yeah,
everyone's going to immediately, when it comes to Tombstone, bring up Val Kilmer playing John Holliday, playing Doc Holliday. Now, my favorite person from Frontier history is John Doc Holliday. Hands down. Love him. He's a great guy, endlessly fascinating. The real man actually lives up to the hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not going to argue with you. Val Kilmer is just holy shit. I mean, you could go on and on, right? It's amazing. It's so fucking memorable. But he gets edged out ever so slightly by Dennis Quaid playing Doc Holliday in Wyatt Earp. Ever so slightly. I mean, he managed. Dennis Quaid, like, lost 50 pounds for the role, so he looked like somebody who had tuberculosis. Gargled with lemon juice, so he was constantly coughing up phlegm to be someone who's phlegmy and full of tuberculosis, so he wasn't faking a cough. He legitimately had a mucousy cough all the time. He mastered the Georgian accent. He throws himself into the role, and it's just love it. It's kind of hard to see Dennis Quaid behind that big old mustache and all the filth. But people don't believe it. It's fine. Fine. I don't have a wrench in Drunkle's chat, says Mark Smart. Yeah, well.
Who asked you?
Yeah, Drunkle's got a personal beef with you. I don't know what you did to him, but he's holding on to it.
Well, good thing it's not wrench talk between the missing 10 millimeter.
Wrench talk. Spanning the spanner.
Oh, that's good.
That's right. Shady Grin says, best Western of the modern era, Cowboys and Aliens, fight me. I won't. That's arguably the best Western of the very modern era. Cowboys and Aliens is a legit good film. All jokes aside.
What was the Western movie we watched with the creepy cave people cannibals? Bone Tomahawk. That was pretty good.
What are these movies? Hold on. Bone Tomahawk.
That one was with Kurt Russell. And I want to throw it out there. I fully believe that both Hateful Eight and Django are Westerns as well.
Okay.
Hateful Eight more so.
I'm going to argue this. Okay. 1, yes, they are. 2, if I want to watch Django, I'll just go watch the original Django that Tarantino ripped it off from, because, well, it's Tarantino, obviously. I mean, it's just sort of saying the movie Tarantino made, the movie Tarantino ripped off from. They're sort of like saying the same thing twice, aren't they? And Hateful Eight was long, boring, and needed an editor. There, I said it. Beautifully filmed, looked gorgeous. Loved sitting there in the 70mm theater, 70mm presentation. I saw it in 70mm, and that was great, and I loved that he did that because I love widescreen. But I'm a massive fan of Westerns, and that film was overly indulgent, and it was a bunch of people not willing to tell Tarantino, no, this is boring. Cut this fucking scene. And the movie plot is preposterous. Oh, they were hiding under the floorboards the whole time. What, are you fucking kidding me? No, he's not.
I also, I will disagree with that one. When I watch Hateful Eight, I watched the unedited version that's like 4-something hours cut up into 4-hour parts. I love it.
Arguably, I could see it being released on Blu-ray as a passable film, as opposed to format, rather. You know what I mean? You want to watch it in this version? Well, here you go. It's like watching Sin City when it's the Blu-ray special edition that's recut to be in chronological order, and all of the stories are cut together.
Oh, someone said Young Guns. I forgot about that. That was a decent movie.
Yeah. Yeah. You have the Estevezes together by different names.
Mm-hmm.
Weird times.
Indeed, but still pretty good.
You know the Internet Movie Firearms Database?
I do not.
Okay, so you know IMDb?
Yes.
That, but it's about guns.
Hmm.
So it's every gun that ever appeared in any movie ever. So if you're watching a movie or a TV series and you're like, what the fuck gun is that? Go to Internet Movie Firearms Database. Yeah, people have gone that far, and it's great. It's extensive and detailed and so on and so forth. I found out something by accident the other day when I popped over there. Somebody had a gun, and I was like, what the fuck gun is that? So I go over there to look. They, across their entire site, never refer to Charlie Sheen as Charlie Sheen, but as Carlos Estevez.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you know Nick Cage isn't his real name?
I did. He's Coppola, but is his first name Nicholas?
Yeah, he just changed his last name.
So he's just Nicholas. Okay. I thought maybe his first name was like, Giancarlo or something. Like something extremely Italian, you know what I mean?
I don't think so. I think it's still Nicholas.
Okay.
But yeah, I heard that a while ago, and ever since then, I'm like, that's just an interesting fact.
Yeah, you get this idea where he says, like, I didn't want to, like, vibe off of my name. You know what I mean? Off of the Coppola name. And I'm like, okay, I guess. Did you ever get a screen reading beat because people knew who you were? Because he's a fun actor, but he's not a good actor.
I mean, he's good when the role is good, but he just does anything put in front of him.
Well, it's the whole bankruptcy thing repeatedly happening. That's the cause of that more than anything. It's like Robert De Niro. I mean, yeah, sure, he went insane, but he also was like next to bankruptcy because of his repeated divorces and his wife's repeated failed businesses that he funds.
Like, he was pretty undeniably good in Lord of War. He was perfect for that role.
Yeah, he was. I'm trying to. Oh, he was perfect for Face Off because you get to see John Travolta do him, and he's got such strong character traits, Nick Cage. You know what I mean? That Travolta could do a good mimicry of him, and that's the fun of the movie, is watching Travolta do an impersonation of Nick Cage. Nick Cage doesn't do a good Travolta, but whatever.
No. Even though Mandy wasn't a great film, Nicolas Cage was great in it.
Okay, I'm just trying to think of other. Cause there's been times where I'm like, I know Nick Cage isn't a good actor, but holy shit, was he good and fun in this film? I know I've thought that at times other than Face Off. Ghost Rider was just okay, but it reduces the movie to being a ridiculous joke instead of something that's awesome. Instead of an awesome, memorable comic book movie, it becomes a Nick Cage movie. You know what I mean?
Oh, fucking The Rock?
Oh, The Rock, yeah. Yeah. Is that who you think of, or do you think of Sean Connery when you think of The Rock?
I mean, it's Sean Connery, but Nicolas Cage was fantastic in it.
Yeah.
Connery stole the show, and Ed Harris was a phenomenal antagonist. But
when does Ed Harris not ever pull more than his own weight on screen?
dude, that guy, I don't know how he doesn't have more leading roles, because he was in a show I like called Westworld as a bad guy, and dude, he is fantastic in that show.
Ed Harris never, like I said, he always brings his fucking A game. I mean, him and all of the, if you ever seen Glenn Ross, he's unforgettable in that. Man, does he own his fucking role.
I know I have, just haven't seen it in forever.
Yeah. Everybody does, because it's a David Mamet script and stage play that everybody is just, all of the actors that are in it worked on scale. You know what I mean? On a sliding scale. So it's like whatever the movie made, they got paid in their contract.
Yeah.
And it's like, so they basically got like 10 grand to show up. Each one of them.
I'm looking at the list now. Al Pacino, Alec Baldwin is a good actor when he wants to be.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey is a fucking killer.
Yeah. Jack Lemmon, a legend for decades.
Jonathan Pryce.
Yeah. And then Harris. And the older balding guy. He plays Dr. Oatman in Grosse Point Blank. Amongst decades of other roles. Fuck. What's his name?
Alan Arkin.
Alan Arkin. Yeah.
That's like the fuck was that movie?
Oh, The Abyss, Zombie Teddy. Yeah, absolutely. Oh God, Looney Lenny. Great example of a Nick Cage movie that's just fun to watch, even though he's not a great actor. National fucking treasure.
Yeah.
That movie is so stupid and so fun. I love it. Every minute of that film I love, even though it's so preposterous. Who cares? It's just good.
That's a good. My favorite thing to come out of that was the Futurama episode where they had to like roll the coin down into Da Vinci's thing to turn on the Da Vinci's scale of a man with all the arms.
Yeah, right.
They roll that coin down. Like I love shit like that.
What? Why is Jamie Villeneuve just like Elliot Page? What?
No love for Con Air.
All of a sudden, they just both fall silent. Yeah. Akira, thank you for the $2. Does City Slickers count as a Western? Lol. Also, getting back to Monday's convo about dumb names, I know a guy who named his son Beckett, and one that named his kid Americus. Fucking hard R.
The Petruvian Man, I think so. I don't remember what it's called.
The Petruvian Man.
Well, he said Petruvian, but
all right.
I'm gonna look it up.
What I've got going on right now is not enough screens. Jesus, look at this.
It's Vitruvian Man. Close.
How do you guys run a stream with only 2 screens? I'd really like to see your setup.
I don't.
That's why. But
I had to do it at Duel's house last year, and it wasn't great.
Like, that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm having to go. Okay, since I just brought up Streamlabs, now I got to go back and bring up OBS plus chat there, because my other screen is what I'm going to be sharing with you when we get into the snooze, which we should be starting immediately. And you might ask what I've been doing up until now. Well, I've been doing a poor man's third screen by simply having Streamlabs on my school laptop, my separate laptop, which died 5 minutes into Monday stream.
So why didn't I flinch? Because the laws of science differ fundamentally from those of...
Fuck you!
Jeez, that's a lot of stars.
If anyone's interested in doing so, if you go back and just go through frame by frame, you'll see that I warped Neil deGrasse Tyson's face, so it really does look like the ball is crushing his entire head. And extra blood splatter helped. I've got so many blood spatter, isn't it though? Spatter.
Yes to both.
Yeah. Green screen plugin effects, and use them to great effect, I think. Hold on. Now I got to bring back. See what I'm talking about? Now I got to bring back up Streamlabs. You tell him, Steve Dave. Thank you very much for the $17 and the red ball to the smug man's face. I needed this moment of catharsis. YouTube Shorts dared to fill my suggestions with Neil deGrasse Tyson bullshit. Fuck you and fuck him. Well, don't fuck them, but yeah, fuck them. But I hear you. I don't get Neil deGrasse Tyson. If I do, I did click on one video of his that I didn't know that he was in because I didn't read the title. Because long title and then following featuring Neil deGrasse Tyson. Didn't see that part. And so when I hit it, and I wiped my YouTube history the previous hour because I didn't want to get Tyson recommendations. Oh man, drives me crazy. I couldn't handle it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I don't know. Who wants to live like that? But yeah, my laptop, as if you remember, died and does not work. So now I'm scrolling through the Costco website looking for a laptop. Because
F in the chat.
Yeah. Because Costco.
It's dead.
Yeah, it's not just the screen that died. I thought maybe the charger gave up the ghost and it wasn't charging the laptop, so the battery had simply died. That's all that happened. No, I had a separate charging cable, plugged it in, and no dice. And it's not just the screen, because do fans come on? Does the hard drive whirl up? All that jazz, right? No, it doesn't. It's not the screen that died, it's the whole fucking thing.
How old is it?
Is it like a 2010 laptop? All jokes aside, I did use it for years, but that thing traveled with me. There's a reason I call it my school laptop. It's a small laptop that just got up and go. There's a whole bunch of research work that's trapped on there too. Thankfully, not a lot. It was only one, because I back up all that stuff. It's only one backup off, but I still have to drop the hard drive out of it to get the data off of it. It's a good thing I have an enclosure.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and so Sin and I were talking about this the other day because I told him how, everything has gotten more expensive, and I just found out that I haven't bought anything since before COVID began. I feel like a man who just woke up after the Great Depression started. What's with the price of everything? I'm at Adidas.com trying to buy a pair of shell toes, and it's I can't afford these. Because I was thinking $60-$70. Yeah. I feel so old. Back in my day, meaning 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
The price of everything. Why is a carton of fucking 12 eggs $5?
Ukraine.
Ukraine. You know what? You know what? That's part of the answer, but goddamn you for saying it.
The last time I bought shoes, because I bought new shoes last September when I went to GolfCon, because I want to wear my old ones.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, because I needed good looking tennis shoes for when I got to do something where I can't wear my grass stained sneakers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've just been buying my shoes off Amazon. I got a nice pair of Chuck Taylors. I'm going to give you the exact price because I need to get another pair soon. They were way cheaper than I thought they would be. My pair of slip-on Chuck Taylor. Oh no, I ordered those. I got Chuck Taylor knockoffs for fucking $25.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading chat, and it's St. Michael says, Adidas, lol.
Then I got a pair of Rockport slip-on shoes, casual dress shoes.
Do you own anything with laces?
Mm-hmm.
I know you said slip-ons twice in a row, and I'm like, do you actually own anything with laces?
Yeah, my good shoes, like my dress shoes and all that, don't have laces, but like the shoes I'm wearing now, my boots, my gym shoes are all laced.
Huh. Yeah, the Pwnage tax is a bitch. And everyone putting up their
I think I'm
prices
gonna get
for
a
like
pair
a
of-
dozen eggs.
I think I'm gonna have to get a pair of high tops too at some point if I keep going out and hiking.
Yeah, go by Walmart. Buy the shoes that have no box.
Dude, they never have my size.
Oh, what size are you?
13.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
They never have my size. I always have, like, even if I go to the mall, I'll be lucky if anybody has a size 13 there. Usually you have to order it.
All right. You want to do some snooze?
Yes, sir.
All right. We will. Go over here. Rain. There it is. And before you could complain, better for readability. Go live. There you are.
I'm in.
All right. A line that should be banned from all movie making. And okay. Oh, Gamer Valine. You bought the mic, Polly. They really milked that WFH. Okay. I don't understand. I hope your flight went well, Valine. And you didn't have any difficulties there at the airport. I know you often can. Tyrai, thank you for the $5. Eggs wouldn't be so pricey if the chicken farms didn't keep burning down and getting avian flu. Yeah. Yeah. And somebody else in chat said eggs are so expensive because I don't have my own chickens. I mean, I can't deny that that's right in a sense. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, why is the leather jacket that I bought 5 years ago, why was it so expensive? Well, because you don't own your own lambs. Okay, well, that's true, but I don't want to, like, go pull chickens or eggs out of a coop every day any more than I want to tan leather. Do you know what I mean?
I'm willing to do it at this point.
You're willing to tan leather. You know what's involved in tanning leather? It's not easy.
I'm willing to go steal chicken babies. Like, because I'm after the show, I'm getting ready to shoot a mixology video, and I need one egg. I need one single egg. I'm like, I don't want to go to a fucking store and buy a half dozen eggs.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So why don't you have eggs for your, family and house and whatnot?
I finished them today.
You asshole! You screwed yourself up. Oh my god!
I mean, that's
how many did you have? Don't tell me you had 3.
I had 2.
All right,
easy.
That's passable. I mean, if you had 3, I'm like, no, it's absolutely your fault. I can understand why somebody wouldn't want to have just one egg, but
usually I do have 3, but I had 2 because I only had 2.
Hold on, I've gotten completely lost. Okay, so I need to bring this back up and this back up. And I need to spend some time figuring out the geometry of having just 2 screens to do this stuff on. This isn't good. All right, moving along. Boom, there it is. We're going to do a few Guardian articles because the Guardian pisses me off. Fuck Britain. Not really, but...
Agreed.
Well, yeah. I mean, it pisses me off. Like, I just ended up doing a... What do you want to call it? Rabbit hole, the Guardian over the last couple of days when I was just putting together stories for today. Americans are starting to get it. We can't let Trump or Trumpism back in office.
I'm glad the British newspapers writing their opinion on U.S. politics by saying we cannot do something that we should not.
I think that you might have thought that headline was a little condescending.
A little bit.
Well, maybe the sub-headline will make you feel better. It reads as follows. Republicans have put all their chips on extremism, but voters are sending more and more signals that they are fed up with it.
Well, good thing I didn't give a fuck what Britain thought about our political system. Nobody here has given a fuck since 1776, 75 actually.
Yeah. And they were pissed before 75, a good number of them anyway. I read this and I was like, this is you remember when the memes were going around about the Guardian and their hot takes? This is just such a great example of them and their hot takes.
Tense?
Gas pence? What the hell's that?
Past tense?
Past tense, yes.
I'm still seeing a lot of their hot takes.
Well, I mean, when the memes were going around, when people were just writing there was a format for them and people were writing the most ridiculous take with a little picture of the person for their opinion stuff. It was after they called. No, that was, I was thinking, austere religious scholar when he actually used the ISIS leader jihadi mass murderer guy. That's the austere religious scholar, but that wasn't them.
That's exactly who they're referring to.
I had to know who Austin Surratt and hold on. God damn it. Now I gotta switch screens. Okay. Gulf City Librarian, thank you for the $3 and the Weibo legs. Dennis Aftergut. Imagine being named after vomit or excrement. Yes. Yeah. I got curious and I started looking up who these people were, and I think it's better summarized who they are through what they've written for The Guardian in addition to this, rather than just me going to Wikipedia or going to their university bio page or whatever, right? So let's just take a look. Here's the articles written by Austin Surratt, who is the Associate Dean of the Faculty and the William Cromwell Professor of Jurisprudence and Political Science at Amherst University, and is the author of Gruesome Spectacles, Botched Executions, and America's Death Penalty. So Austin Surratt has written the articles with the following titles. You just heard the one. Americans are starting to get it. We can't let Trump or Trumpism back in office. Before that, they go as follows. Trump is spending the last days of his presidency on literally a killing spree. Donald Trump is still busy trying to bulldoze democracy. Bill Barr is acting like Trump's attack dog, not his attorney general. Does the Justice Department work for the Trump campaign? Barr thinks so. Donald Trump brings his claim of absolute power to the Supreme Court. Donald Trump's use of clemency undermines the rule of law. Seeing a pattern?
I am.
Are you even remotely surprised that The Guardian published all of this fucking regurgitated tripe?
Not even a little bit, actually.
This is Sam Harris' internal mental monologue in action. Gee, Guardian, what side of things do you come out on? Well, we're just publishing op-eds and people's opinions. You are deliberately picking people to speak your own opinions on purpose.
Well, that's because they're trying to convince, and I really do often think this, they're trying to convince themselves as much as everybody else of this just utter nonsense.
M4 Sherman, thank you for the $4, and the Kitty Paratrooper. Oh, look, it's Brit's news opinion. My response, shut the fuck up, nobody cares. Yeah, well, there you go. And the other gentleman, Dennis Aftergut, there's Dennis Aftergut, is a former federal prosecutor who writes on national affairs. Why are you a former federal prosecutor? Because Trump came to office. I'm willing to bet somebody else was put into your position. Federal prosecutors, sort of important positions.
And I think that's the biggest mistake Trump made, is not installing his people fast enough.
100%. Yes, and yes. But there's one, it's not just a mistake, it was a massive fuck up. He should have liquidated everybody. How many offices did he leave unfilled for over 2 fucking years?
Too many.
Don't get me wrong, there's lots of stuff that I liked about the way that Trump governed from the middle, so to speak. He did. He was not as extreme, of course, as people think that he was, and Trump did nothing wrong, et cetera, save one massive glaring thing. He didn't nominate people to the positions it was the president's authority to do. He just kept on letting it ride and didn't yeet people the fuck out of their positions. FBI director immediately and deputy director are good examples.
Yeah.
How many problems would he have saved himself if that? It was like, oh, the FBI. Well, start with the leadership because it's a top-down organization. Why the fuck would you leave your predecessor's people in there? Oh, well, what's the worst they could do? Dude. A lot.
I mean, we saw what they did.
Yeah.
And the fact that he didn't even stand up to Fauci toward the end really showed a lot of people, myself included, how toothless he was.
Yeah. People say, well, he never got the wall built. And it's, okay, hold on. It's not like that was attempted or was not attempted. And it's not like Congress didn't make multiple efforts to stop him. And the president doesn't have the legal ability to transfer that amount of money towards a building project. That has to come through Congress. Now, if you're Barack Obama, you can, through an executive order, transfer billions of dollars to Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA.
Yeah.
And not only will Congress not say anything about it, not only will you not get an injunction by some circuit court judge, but the next president will not be able to stop said program because circuit court judges will block that president from doing so. There's the difference. Why didn't you fill all of the judgeships you could when you could, Trump? Major mistake. So, Dennis Aftergut, and you'll notice that he co-authors with the previous scumbag. Americans are starting to get it. Trump and Trumpism can't be back in office. Time is running out. The Justice Department must indict and convict Trump. Gee, where do you come out on this stuff? Does Judge Clarence Thomas want to overturn a landmark freedom of the press ruling? The Trumpian right keeps pushing the rule of law to the brink, but the law is winning. The evidence is clear. It's time to prosecute Trump. The courts have a new chance to block Texas's abortion law. I hear you. I hear you. Black voting power. Congress has a massive voting rights bill in its grasp. It must pass it. Now. And then the collaborative effort. Donald Trump is still busy trying to bulldoze democracy. Gee, where do you... So hold on. Let's go back. So you two fuckers, you're still at it, huh? You two polywords are still carrying on. Yeah. And the Guardian editors are still publishing all of your shit. Yes. Do you apply this level of scrutiny to old man Biden?
No, of course not.
Of course not. I mean, you said it perfect, right? It's like, it's time to indict him. For what? Solder, thank you for the 1650. Butthurt Brett, I feel sorry when I think about the state of your country. Chad Murrican, I don't think about your country at all.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, like, that's the worst part, right? You got the Guardian opinion on U.S. politics, and this is the U.S. edition. Wow. On your mind much? And we're talking about the United Kingdom. You guys have problems. Boris is not running things well. Labor that was decimated has reconstructed itself. The Conservatives have made a farce of themselves. Mass immigration is as big a problem as ever. Islamic extremism is as big of a problem as ever. The list goes on and on and on. It's not like you don't have island-specific problems, UK. Fuck.
No, but they just cannot wait to tell us how much better they have it.
Yeah, well, but I don't think that they do. They speak as if they do, but can't claim that they do. And those guys aren't British. They're just publishing their shit where they can. Fucking awful. Moving along. Oh, here's a good example. I read this and I was like, wait, hold on, what? Mass exodus. Australia faces the loss of 600,000 people. And skills recovery will be slow. Now, what I know what I took off of that. What'd you take off of that upon hearing it for the first time?
No one wants to live in Australia?
What? That I thought, oh my God, 600,000 fucking people? Like, Australia's population, I'm going to guess, is what? 40 to 60 million? Somewhere in that range? So 600,000 fucking people are leaving? Why? What the hell? No, they're talking exclusively about, one, migrants that will not be able to stay because of the visa program.
25 million.
25, that makes it even worse. Because I'm thinking 600,000 fucking people. That many people are going to be leaving it. They're actually talking about visa migrants, and people that won't get visas are totaling 600,000. They consider somebody who has never arrived yet, hasn't arrived yet, as being a loss of a person. Okay, this why? This article comes down to one thing, and I will, having read through it and thought about it, it comes down to this. Temporary skilled migrants now account for around 0.7% of the labor force. I did the math on that. 0.7% of 600,000 is 42,000. So you are looking at, over the next 5 years, which they didn't mention that with the 600, the next 5 years of losing 42,000 skilled laborers. Alternatively, you could say of worker migrants that you are so concerned about losing, 99.3% of them are unskilled workers.
Isn't that fantastic?
I was, so I'm talking to Far about this, and she got it. When I read that headline, being in Australia, she understood it right away. She's like, because of the visa program and the way we shut down for COVID. I'm like, yeah. And she goes, yeah, well, everybody here knows that. I was like, oh, okay. So you'd have to be an Aussie to know it. But if you're outside of Australia, how do you think you took this mass exodus? Someone has to be somewhere before they can excise themselves from there.
Not there.
Yeah, that's so the 0.7% of skilled labor is like, so the 99.3 are the majority, and they're like, we need to open up the borders, we need to smooth out the visa system and allow people to get visas more easily, and we need to allow the people that are working migrants with visas to stay, because you need the 99.3% of unskilled labor of those migrants to stay. Australians, citizens could do those jobs.
Well, they're not supposed to.
What? Right. And it's what I said to Far. It's like, I didn't realize you guys had the same problem that we have. You do. Do you guys get called racist for talking about it? And she's like, oh, yeah. Yeah. If you want to smooth out the migration system or the border situation, or like the port situation, as they call it, or the visa, yeah, it's because you don't want foreigners in because you're racist. I'm like, oh my God, it's the same everywhere in the Western world. This is what fucking killed me. Again, it all comes down to this one paragraph that tells you so much. There's one line. That 0.7% is less than half the level when temporary skilled migration peaked after the mining boom. So at the peak of skilled labor during their mining boom, 1.5% of the migrant population was skilled.
Drunkle just texted me again. He said 5 more minutes.
All right. Divine Petron's God, I'm sick of the media. Yeah, we'll just make the...
I'm honestly just sick of the fucking newspeak.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't care.
And for Sherman, thank you for the $4 and the kitty paratrooper. Well, good. I didn't want a visa from Australia. Anyways, I'll build my own Australia with hookers and blackjack. I think they had that. And then they got all, regulation-y. I mean, it was an island of fucking criminals. You have to imagine they had blackjack and hookers just, everywhere. Like, frontier style.
I would assume so.
Yeah. Okay, so one quick other one.
Australia is a bit of a mystery to me.
You want to talk about a guy, condescending son of a bitch? Equality is not within sight. UN expert warns US to protect LGBTQ plus civil rights. Victor Madrell Barlaws says he's, quote, deeply alarmed that prior progress is under threat at both the state and federal levels. Really? equality is not within reach and often not even within sight for members of the LGBT communities in the U.S., Madrell Barlaws says after a 10-day trip in his role with the UN that had various stops across the country. Gee, where do you think he stopped? Do you think he stopped to every activist group hotspot he could? Do you know where he definitely went? Florida.
I assume all these people do.
Well, yeah. He went to Florida and stayed in Florida and talked a lot about Florida because the Don't Say Gay bill is rolling things back. Now we have UN Hollywords showing up and talking about shit. Really?
Well, good. That's another organization that I don't give a fuck about.
I hear you.
All those little blue helmets are good for us.
Madrell Borges suggested that executive order alone wouldn't offer much resistance to the, quote, concerted attack LGBTQ Americans are facing from some of their own governmental leaders. What is it you do, buddy? This guy for the UN. Hold on, just scrolling up. Oh yeah. The experts' remarks come after the Republican-dominated government of Florida this summer enacted the Don't Say Gay law. Hold on. Here's their description. Forbidding school children in kindergarten through the 3rd grade from receiving classroom instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity. Why are you instructing people from kindergarten to grade 3 on sexual orientation and gender identity?
That's what I want to know.
At all. Like, why is this even part of the curriculum? Because activist perspective is get them young. Get them young. The state's your parent, you're not the parent. He's the diplomatic organization, is that what you refer to the UN as? Independent expert on protection.
A word.
He's their independent expert on protection against gender and sexual orientation-based violence and discrimination. Where? In their human rights group. You know who's the head of their human rights group right now? Saudi Arabia.
China?
Saudi Arabia.
It's close.
Let me see if I get this straight. Victor, you're rolling around the United States talking this shit, and the Guardian's publishing up articles about equality not being within sight when the country that leads the group that you work for.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just wait for my fucking time.
E to the dubs is Polydub.
Bitch, let me have it. I'm decided. Why do you keep screaming, bro?
No Wrench Johnny, thank you for the $25. Make Drunkle Limes, please. You got it. Done and done. Yeah.
Whenever he gets here, he'll be limed.
I had to search to find, and I did go off to find him saying anything, this guy saying anything about Saudi Arabia at all. You would think as the, hold on here. The independent expert on protection against gender and sexual orientation-based violence and discrimination that, well, Saudi Arabia and most of the Middle East would be your prime focus in life. But no. I had to search around to find an article where he said anything involving Saudi Arabia. UN expert, criminalization of same-sex unions violates human rights law and must end. Now, this article is written up where it actually cites somewhere where this guy one time mentioned Saudi Arabia. Akira, thank you for the $4 in the Paratrooper Key. What civil rights don't they have? What the fuck? Fuck off! Defend the UN? I'm not going to be told how to think by an organization that allows mass sexual assault to go on, committed by their blue helmets. Ooh. Spicy.
Yeah, we had that story.
Oof.
That when they were providing aid to Africa for the children, they made the children pay it forward.
Oof. Okay. Let me give you the TLDR. This article muddles deliberately same-sex unions and sexual orientation-based violence. So, and homophobic laws. So it is actually illegal to be gay. If you get caught or denounced, because it is a denouncement culture in the Middle East, hey, I think that guy's gay, you're subject to arrest now, right? If those laws get muddled up with a country that does not have the definition of marriage being between one person and one person, as opposed to between a man and a woman. Any country that has marriages defined between one man and one woman is in the same category as a country that has being gay as a jailable, punishable, executable offense.
Okay, who still... Are there any countries that fall into that criteria that don't have it as a jailable offense?
Where it's illegal to get married if you're gay, as well as jailable offense, an executable offense by that, rooftop trials. Yes, they're both illegal at the same time, but
I'm asking, are there any countries where it's not legal to be gay married, but also
no.
They'll kill you for doing it?
No,
Is there any middle?
No, they both go together.
It's either one or the other?
No, if it's illegal to be gay, it's also illegal for you to be gay married.
Okay, I'm not asking this question right. Are there any countries where it is not illegal to be gay, where you still can't get gay married?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, yeah. I mean, there were only certain states in the United States where you could get married as a gay couple, because state law does not permit gays to get married. They simply just won't recognize the marriage certificate. In terms of all of the things that everybody brings up, hospital visitation, insurance, etc., immediate family status, on and on. You know what my opinion is on the best way to fuck with people who argue that? Government should get out of the business of marriage entirely, offer nothing but civil unions across the board. You don't want a civil union because you want the status of being a married couple. I say fuck that. The government should not be in the business of defining who's officially married or not. Everybody gets a civil union, and therefore everybody gets the hospital visitation, the insurance, and whatnot. Watch how quickly the activists, back away from that. No, I don't want that. I want marriage to be defined under law as being between an individual and an individual, regardless of gender identity, sexual orientation, or anything. Why? Why not just go with the civil union thing? It gets you everything that you claim you want. The visitation, the insurance, the immediate family status. Because you want to conquer a node of cultural importance. That's why.
Yeah, and I would respect it a lot more if they were just honest and say that.
Yeah.
They want to buck the stereotype. All right.
Yeah. We're doing it as a means of protest. It has been a long-standing thing since the beginning of time that a married couple is a man and a woman. And we want to not just buck the stereotype, buck the humanity trend. I should be careful. This is how you lose your channel on YouTube, isn't it?
Yes.
I might get demonetized if I were monetized.
Like, you're going to get an email saying, okay, whenever you apply for it, we're going to say no.
Yeah, you have been pre-denied. All right, let's move on to some fun stuff. Crash Skipper dies after drinking antifreeze during night in bush. Okay.
Not Gatorade, buddy.
Yeah. This guy is on in the Marlborough Sounds in New Zealand, is on a twisty road that at points is not paved, but it's still a road, but it's twisting it as it bends, and he went off this road and dies, and it's a big mystery because he was taken to hospital and died in hospital. So what killed him? Well, after they do a toxicology report, he was drinking antifreeze.
Guys, just because it's fucking Kool-Aid flavored doesn't mean it's Kool-Aid.
The toxicologist found Lee had consumed ethylene glycol, also known as antifreeze, a chemical used in car radiators. Coroner Menial Druggle said in her findings released last week. So he goes off the road and he goes into his trunk, for something to drink because he's thirsty. Finds a big old handle of antifreeze and starts chugging away. That's what killed him. That's the solution to the mystery. I mean, you've seen antifreeze, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's funky looking. Like, bizarre looking. Fascinating almost. It glows a little bit. You know, does that look like something you should be drinking, man? Like, maybe if you're a 4-year-old.
Well, I assume that's all Australians.
But New Zealand's DERS.
Same thing.
Oh, okay. Akira, thank you for the $2. I think we should all go back to minding our own business. I won't tell you who I fuck. You don't tell me what I can fuck and can't own. I like that last part especially. We'll revisit that notion later on. Okay, hold on. Moving along. God, these two screens, it's so hard to do. Sin. Long overlooked organs mounts... Mount Swastika may have a new name soon. There's no organ out of Mount Swastika.
I did not, but you have my attention.
Okay. Well, Swastika Mountain, accurately. Okay. Yeah, most Oregonians? No, Oregonians are from Star Trek. I mean, that's not right. Or most people from Oregon didn't know either. Like, there it is. Swastika Mountain. In any case, this is Karen the story, all right? Swastika Mountain in Oregon's Upampa National Forest, or whatever the fuck, is in the process of being renamed after bearing the moniker for over a century. So this far predates Nazism? Yes. Where's it come from?
Apparently.
Yeah, well, there was a ranch that went by that name, and the brand that the ranchman used on his cattle was the swastika, named after, his ranch. Because it's a sign of good fortune before Nazis came along, and still is in lots of contexts, religious and cultural and otherwise. It's only,
it's Nazis are in that, and the Charlie Chaplin mustache.
Yes. Joyce McLean first heard of Swastika Mountain after reading about 2 hikers who were rescued from the peak in January. The 81-year-old Karen couldn't believe that a mountain could still bear that name in 2022. Quote, people need to come forward and take action when they find that something isn't right or needs to be changed because one person can make a difference, and this shows how that's true. Are you fucking kidding me?
This is ridiculous.
Dude, she reached out to the Oregon Historical Society and the Oregon National Geographic Names Board, filing out paperwork to propose a name change. Terry Timochuk, executive secretary at the Historical Society, said McLean is the first person he knows of to submit a request for the mountain. Quote, it's not a very well-known mountain, and frankly, I didn't know there was one. Says the chair of the board. Nobody knew it was even fucking there, man. Nobody. But Karen found out. So now they're changing the name of the mountain.
What are they going to call it? Mount Fascist?
Well, Mount BIPOC, basically. They are going to call it... Halito Mountain. After Chief Halito of the Yonkala Yapala tribe.
Mount Halitosis.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. The historic Mount Halo, named after Chief Halito.
Okay.
Like I said, Karen, the story. I think everyone should just, like... You realize this is like like thanks to NPR and you dumbass. This is the Streisand effect in full effect. I mean, Mount Swastika was out there and nobody even fucking knew about it. Not even the people that are responsible for naming things in Oregon. Thanks for bringing it to everyone's attention, dumbass. Wait,
Polly, you're not allowed to talk about these things.
Freedom.
Gold City Librarian, thank you for the $1. Swastika Mountain doesn't spew toxic gas. I will be sorely disappointed. What?
Repeat that?
If Swastika Mountain doesn't spew toxic gas, I will be sorely disappointed.
Oh, okay. It's swastika gas.
Oh, right. All right. Yeah, okay. You had to put them right together for me to catch on to that. All right.
That's okay.
Moving along. Lakewood cut down town square trees to deter the homeless, and there they are. It was giving them shade. They just cut down the fucking trees to try and get rid of them.
Which Lakewood is this?
Lakewood, California.
Oh.
Were you hoping it was
Because we
near
have
you?
Lakewood here. I'm like, I don't think they're putting the money into that.
The township cut down all of the shade trees that once lined the town square in a controversial move designed to prevent the homeless people from spending time there. Mayor Ray Cole said the decision was made after a recommendation for the police department quality of life unit. Where is our money going and why?
It's in the trash. It's going in the fucking trash.
People were complaining about all the human feces and urine everywhere. So that's why they decided to do something. So they just cut down their trees. No shade for you, fucker. I find that funny. Excuse me. Sora News 24. Drunkle missed it.
Too bad.
Sushi chef drops knives on train, causes panic and delays.
What? Oh, is the knife flying around?
No, it's just that he just drops a whole fuck ton. Like his specialty knives that are kept ultra razor sharp for the job, right? To be able to, it's Japanese chef. They're deadly serious about their profession, And so they have their own specialized knives in the roll-up pack and whatnot. And it fell open and the knives fell out on the floor of the train. And it's a Japanese train, super packed. So it was like, oh my God! And panic ensued.
That makes sense.
It sort of does, but like I don't know if you have, but I have seen people drop their CCW gun.
No, I have.
No, I have. And people just looked over and went, huh.
I have not seen that.
Well, it was in Phoenix. Maybe that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, it could be.
God bless that city. When you can drop a gun on the ground and if shots don't immediately fire, everyone's like, Jesus, hope you didn't ruin the finish. And for Sherman, thank you for the $2 and the bonk bubble. Watch. Next, the Karen will complain about the town named Virginville and be asked to change it. Yes, that's a real town in Pennsylvania. Didn't know that. Virginville.
Oh,
Now,
you do. The more you know.
Yeah. Boom. Southern Indiana deputy accused of posing as a New Albany police officer. That's it. I just like the idea of one police officer impostoring as another.
Why?
That's all you got? Why? You just don't find it funny that a cop pretended to be another kind of cop?
I want to know why.
Well,
Why?
Let's find out. Oh, hold on. I hit the wrong button. See? God damn it, 2 screens. I know people that do a fucking stream with 1 screen. That's like, vaccine for cancer level mystery. I don't understand it at all.
I want to know why.
Down in Louisville, Kentucky, a Harrison County Sheriff's deputy is facing felony charges for allegedly posing as a New Albany police officer in an email that claimed officer misconduct. An officer was sent out on May 2022. 2 officers at the Indiana State Police Post in Sellersburg, the Floyd County Prosecutor's Office. Oh my God. I received that email myself, the prosecutor says, stating, information that was going to the New Albany Police Department that was possibly not being looked into properly. So obviously it raised questions and raised our eyebrows. That's not an email that we receive. Said, not the prosecutor, but Sergeant Cully Hulls. So the Floyd County Prosecutor's Office contacted us. Our detectives were already looking into it as far as contacting the prosecutor about this email. The email allegedly claimed that the sender had reported the allegations, but the issues were not being addressed. The emails also included a phone number and information about the officer's family. Following the email, they looked into this shit. The officer told police that he had not sent the email because he had not knowledge of such a communication being sent. So he was trying to get some shit started with the prosecutors for whatever fucking reason.
Well, that seems like shooting yourself in the foot for literally no reason.
Yeah, he probably had a beef over the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, apparently. Like, I don't see the point. Like, they're gonna figure out you're not one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because if you have particular information in terms of things not being followed up, they're going to want to know who you are and how you know it. Not just because of, like, how do you know this? But, like, we need more information to pursue it. So they're going to, like, look into who you are. I don't know. Why didn't you just send it anonymously? Why did you think it would be taken more seriously because you're another officer?
Probably.
Did you arrogantly pursue your course of action because you believe there would be no recompense whatsoever because you're a cop and used to acting with impunity?
That seems likely. That seems like the most likely.
Yeah. It's like, this isn't a problem. I'm a cat. What are they going to do? Arrest me? Possibly, yes.
But they have to remember that they are subject to arrest.
No. Phoenix is exactly why, Polydub, you heard me say it. The cops would ask me why I'm choosing an AR for open carry in the summer. Because it's 115 outside. God bless that city. And the entire state. Don't you want to live in Phoenix? Or just Arizona generally a little bit? I do.
It's always too hot to fuck around.
Well, yeah. I mean, the heat, yeah, aware of it. But, like, the gun freedoms, man. The gun freedoms they enjoy. Oh, my Lord. True constitutional carry. ARs everywhere. Like I said, the one time when I walked into the fucking one-off coffee shop there, and all 3 baristas were open carrying. It was great.
I bet.
I was like, oh my God, I've come home at last. Moving along. Wait, what article's even highlighted? I can't tell. I have too many tabs open. I can't. God, oh, here, Sinatra. There we go. Speaking of changing names, Swan Street has a new name. Swan Street.
That's the name?
Yes. Swan Street in... I can't believe this is actually a fucking story. But it is. In DuPont Circle, a neighborhood in Washington, D.C., a historic neighborhood in Washington, D.C., has a street named Swan. Swan Street. And they've renamed it Swan Street. Oh, wait, what? Okay, here's what. The original Swan Street was named after Thomas Swan, who was, quote, born into privilege, was a slave owner, and who lived in Leesburg Moven Park Mansion.
Oh, they just spelled it differently.
Yes. No, they spelled it the same. It's exactly the same. The name is, they don't have to change anything. It's just, so when they change the name, it's just not named after Thomas Swan. It's now named after someone else, also named Swan.
What?
Yeah. Where William Dorsey Swan, who it's now named after, was born a slave. Now, follow me on this, okay? Was born a slave and then moved to Washington and became a remarkable queer rights pioneer in 1818. In the late...
Would they find him buried with a cock in his asshole?
Sorry, the late 1800s, not the early 1800s. In the late 1800s, he staged a series of secret balls with a group of formerly enslaved men dubbed the House of Swan, dressed up in women's clothes. He called himself the Queen of Drag. When the cops raided such one of his gatherings in 1888, Swan fought back, and the ensuing fracas is considered to be the earliest act of LGBTQ plus resistance. You're at a
Okay.
Pollywood party. A Pollywood party. That's all that
It
happened.
ain't a Pollywood party because the party don't stop.
So what? Now, did they actually change the name? No, it was the neighborhood organization that did this. I love this. So now the Swan Street has it's like you didn't actually do this. Turner was excited to learn about the Swan Street name change. The resolution isn't official because that would require action of the DC Council. So who did it? The Neighborhood Action Committee, the ANC for DuPont Circle, did it. So they just said that they did it. So is it actually done that if you look it up in the city records that who it's named after, it'll now be after Dorsey Swan, not Thomas Swan? No. So then what the fuck are you talking about?
Do you think that, I don't know what made me think of this, but do you think that if people were going around saying that Christopher Columbus was gay, they would stop trying to cancel the holiday?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Is that what we need to do? Did you know George Washington was actually a woman in drag and gay? It sounds like I'm desecrating the man. No, I'm trying to protect him. Hear me out.
Yeah, it's the only way to not get canceled.
Speaking of Washington, D.C., there's Lorde in concert in Washington, D.C., and she announces, I was thinking today, I was lying in the Potomac River. The Potomac River is filthy. Filthy. Don't get in it. It'd be like getting in like the East River in New York. You don't want to do that.
I assume so. It's
right.
Like getting in the Ohio River, you know, the one that caught on fire.
Right, that one. Yeah. So Lorde says when she's on stage sitting there talking into her little mic in her little dressy-uppy outfit here, I was thinking today, I was lying in the Potomac River. I love getting to swim in water where I'm playing. It makes me feel like I know you.
What the fuck?
And the audience breaks out cheering and laughing. Like, you went in there? I mean, some of the tweets are hilarious. Lorde talking about how she swam in the Potomac River today, and now we must say goodbye to Lorde, for she has a flesh-eating disease.
George Washington in drag for $13 and gay. Thank you.
And I don't really have anywhere to go with this story other than to just say it. Groom and 6 guests mysteriously die after wedding. They have no idea why. Welcome to Nigeria.
I bet they owed someone money.
When you scroll to the end of it, it's like they've got the bodies in the hospital. They still have no idea. They're all dead. And the bride is one of the people that became deathly ill but didn't die. There seems to be no clear evidence why the crowd fell so violently ill, though an anonymous source in the community told Vanguard that the prevailing theories include food poisoning, carbon dioxide poisoning, and the nearby power generator, or ingested insecticide. So everything?
That's a hell of a list.
Yeah. I want to know what the power generator nearby has to do with anything. It sent out evil rays of Western imperialism? What's the problem?
It sent out rays that disrupted their kings. That's bad.
Yeah, 6 dead people and 8 hospitalized. An unnamed doctor who received some of the patients told a Nigerian newspaper, Vanguard, that 5 of them also died while receiving care. I
only accidentally killed 2.
Yeah, it says an unnamed doctor. Yeah, wait a minute, but he talked to the newspaper. Why is he unnamed? Because he wanted to be anonymous? Why is that? Yeah, I think he just said it, Sid. You know what I mean? They died because of the hospital, didn't they?
They must have. Hold on one second.
All right.
I'm gonna turn my speakers on so I'll hear you across the room, but you might get a little bit of an echo. But I'm not gone.
Oh, great. Running a stream by myself, my worst nightmare. You know what I did? Okay, so I was talking chat, because Sinatra's not here anymore, about the duck sauce killer. The guy who killed the delivery boy because he didn't, or delivery guy, I don't know, maybe he was a 50-year-old man for all I know, because he didn't have enough duck sauce. I didn't realize that he killed himself. He was living in fear of being sent back to Rikers Island, so he yeeted himself. And he goes through this. The reason I bring it up is because I had talked about this guy before in a news story. Can you believe this guy shot somebody because a Chinese food delivery guy because he didn't bring enough duck sauce? And it's fucking nuts. I mean, I like duck sauce too, but Jesus. So he ended up killing himself, and he writes this rambly 5-page suicide note. 6-page suicide note saying, I hereby declare my innocence in connection with the death of Mr. Swen's GEA. I did not shoot Mr. Yan. And I am not responsible for his death in a ridiculous and feeble attempt to portray me as someone who's condiment obsessed. The overly vexatious and disturbed NYPD took photographs of the inside of my refrigerator, wrongly reporting that it was filled with condiments. Okay, so the delivery guy's dead. This guy's dead. I shouldn't be laughing, but that in your suicide note, you're going, can you believe they took pictures of the inside? Hey, listen, you took pictures of the inside of my fridge. Sometimes all I have is condiments. I got a fuck ton of them. I got one whole...
See, you ran that fine for 2 minutes.
That wasn't 2 minutes, but, I've got one whole door drawer. You know what I'm talking about? That's just hot sauce.
Do you really?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I went and blew $200 on hot sauce. They accumulated, and hot sauce never goes bad because it's all vinegar and salt and things that
I got a hot sauce gift pack once.
Cool.
But it was like one you get from like Kohl's, so I think I just threw it out.
It was a no good hot sauce. And I got
the whole thing probably cost $5 for 6 bottles of it. I just assumed it was bad.
You know what you just reminded me of? There's hot sauces there that I haven't even touched. Like the green Tabasco, the green chili Tabasco, because that's the light one.
No urge.
Yeah. Somebody got me the gift pack of Tabascos. And like from the habanero one at the hottest, the smoked one, the regular one, which is still glorious, and then that green one. That green one is still sitting there with the wrapper on it because I've had it before and it tastes disgusting and has no heat. It's like green pepper, the sauce.
It's funny. I don't know if you could hear this. I'm literally shaking my bottle of Tabasco sauce that I keep at the office because I was eating something yesterday.
Nice.
That required Tabasco.
Yeah. Oh, Tabasco's awesome. I know it's everywhere, so people kind of think it's not. If you understand what I'm saying, like just because it's so common, they don't really think of how awesome it actually is. And no, it's everywhere because it is awesome. Tabasco's great.
Oh yeah, it is.
Tell me, Teddy, I can imagine Polly has a fridge filled with condiments and prosciutto. I wish it always spawned its own prosciutto. That'd be great. You know how much deli meats cost these days, especially good ones? The Italian market. Oh man, the Italian market I used to go to. I haven't been there in so long because I can't afford it.
Dude,
and that's not even a cry for donations. That's just a complaint about the cost of things, straight up.
I have an Italian market around here, and I went to it the other day, and I didn't get a lot. I just had to run up there and get something, but I was looking at the meat counter, and they had ground beef patties with bacon and cheddar cheese already mixed in to it for like $7 a pound. I'm like, yeah, just let me get 2 patties. That should be about a pound. And I made burgers out of it. They were so fucking good. I forgot to season them with my hamburger seasoning, and they were so I was just so excited to eat them. They were so good.
Tyrai says Tabasco has no flavor. Well, it's salty and vinegary and hot peppery because those are literally the only 3 ingredients in it. No, it's got. What do you mean it's got no flavor? I can't.
Ingredients: distilled vinegar, red pepper, salt.
Yeah, I gotta respectfully disagree with you there. I mean,
it has a flavor on top of a heat.
Yeah. If you mean beyond the vinegar and the salt, like it doesn't have a smoked flavor, or if you know what I mean, because like a lot of hot, thicker, whatever hot sauces do. Yeah, no, I'll agree with you there. But no, salty and sour, right? There you go. Pole dancing axe thrower wins world title.
That is something I would like to see.
Yeah, I just love the idea of the Mounties here holding the axe and the title, and I don't care what the story is because that's enough entertainment for me. Pole dancing axe thrower wins world title. And no, there's no video. I looked. So, yeah, that's it. Just the title. Arizona Supreme Court says no to free and fair elections ballot measure. Do you know what the free and fair ballots election measure is?
I do not.
Do you know the way the Inflation Reduction Act does not address inflation in any way?
Yes.
Okay. In the same way, this bill will lead to the opposite of free and fair elections. And that's what Arizona said no to.
Oh, good for them then.
Yeah. It removes the right of Arizona to deny federal election findings. So that you can't dissent. No. Yeah. Fuck you.
I agree. That's a massive fuck you.
Yeah. It would expand the ability to ballot harvest. It would have expanded the ability for mail-in ballots, made them more widespread and easier to do. So in other words, this is the opposite of what you named it. This was the unfree and unfair elections ballot measure. Same-day registration was a requirement.
Oh, so this is help us cheat.
Yeah,
measure.
exactly. Expansion of cheating the bill.
No, I'm sorry. This is fair and balanced. The 2020 edition. This is 81 million fair and balanced.
Oh, here's a Kremlin media. Car bomb suspect is sex-obsessed beer lover. No,
Car
nothing.
bomb suspect is a sex. I had to reread it like
Okay.
4 times.
All right. Anyone who watches Red
I think
Letter
I
Media,
think I'm
try and tell me that doesn't look like Rich Evans in the bush.
I think I'm the bomber.
Russian state media will have you know that the second Ukrainian, quote, terrorist accused in the plot was a self-proclaimed sex instructor with a passion for drinking. They had a pirate.
Good for him. He's got a flush resume.
Thank you, Far, for the 1650. And she says, plug and play, motherfuckers. Yeah, thank you. Far loves a plug and play Hummingbird. Or whatever. Somebody in chat last time said, no, it's a woodpecker. I just assumed it was a hummingbird because it was so small and his beak was so long. But maybe it is a woodpecker.
That's a woodpecker.
Is it a woodpecker? The woodpeckers we have around here are a lot...
Unless the hummingbird got its beak stuck in something.
Well, that's what I mean. I thought it did. I thought that was the hilarity. I thought it was trying to get in at some sap and got accidentally wedged in. The woodpeckers we have just look dramatically different. They're bigger. Their beaks are shorter and blunter. Maybe it is a hummingbird or not a hummingbird. I don't know. I just assumed it was, so named it that.
I need to see it again.
All right. That's only 1650.
I put my my bird knowledge to the test. Or not ornithological.
Yeah, I think it's ornithological.
I need about 350.
Steve Dave for about 350. Loading. And loading. Boy, British minutes are sure a long ass time. Might want to remind him how long a minute is when he gets here soon. Oh, I'm sure that'll go over well.
Yes. Okay, so we were going to go over some things that I didn't... Look, I did a dive on this last night because I end up doing this sort of stuff for my day job.
Right.
Accidentally felt normal. CNN Business of all people. Wireless carriers keep your location data for years and provide it to the police. Said CNN, shocking no one except their regular readers.
Well, everyone's known this.
Yeah, but now they got the proof. That's the difference, right? So now CNN can say it.
We have seen cellular data be used in fucking cases.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, this the phone pinged off this tower here, so we know they were in the area. Man, this is, and I don't mean to shill too hard. This is the perfect time for the $28 Napa I Hate the Media, because this is fucking dumb.
Well, this is the excuse me. It's not just that they provide it to police, like for cases, because we have seen that, you're right, and they subpoena it. It's that they hand it over when the police call up and they, hey, this is Sergeant Joe Rigby. Can you send all over the data for this fucker? And they're like, yeah, sure. And it's like, and it never leads to a prosecution, bless you, never leads to a prosecution or an investigation or whatever. They just grab a motherfucker's data. I want to know where this girl I've been dating has been at. And so they request the data and they send it. That level.
Well, it's part of the contract. It's one of those things where it's like, well, if you don't agree to us invading every bit of your privacy, you cannot use our service.
You're not wrong, because here is the chairwoman. Jesus Christ. She's the FCC chairwoman, the Federal Communications chairwoman, and she sent out the responses, made them public to her letters of inquiry regarding this very matter. There's all the PDFs right there. So you can actually read what their lawyers said back. And in every single case, yes, it was a lawyer. Here's the
well, it has to be.
Right? Here's they're going to, not really, because the questions are very straightforward, right? Please describe in detail the geolocation data that Verizon Wireless collects and retains regarding current and or former subscribers. How is the data collected? You think you would need an engineer to do that, to answer that question. Please explain the reasons geolocation data is retained for both current and former subscribers. This sounds like a policy-oriented thing, right?
It absolutely is.
Yeah. How long is geolocation data retained for both current and former subscribers? Please describe a description of what safeguards Verizon Wireless uses to protect current and former subscribers' geolocation data. Again, it's like this is all policy and tech engineering coder level questions. But no, they have a lawyer answering all these questions. Why? Well, you know why. The senior vice president of Federal and Regulatory Legal Affairs answered this question for Verizon, answered this email for Verizon. And
I'm doing me a big thunk.
Yeah. Please explain what safeguards. It's like Verizon takes seriously our customers provide their affirmative opt-in consent to allow us to use data on the devices of their operating systems in connection with certain Verizon branded application features that these customers elect to run on their devices by hitting the I agree they have elected to do so.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
What do you think's in that fucking 45-page terms of servicing you just don't read and click I agree on? It's shit like that.
Yeah. He actually uses weasel words. A lawyer in a request from the FCC uses. Indeed, many application platforms retain information associated with location data for significantly less time. Many who? Other people do it as well? Did you actually just say that? Yes. In what country or countries is geolocation data stored? With one limited exception, Verizon Wireless stores geolocation data for our customers for our customer consumers in the United States. There's limited storage of data associated with one application, CareSmart, in Canada, in connection with the Get Help professional monitoring feature. And it's like, okay, you're still handing over all it's not good that it's around the world, but you're still handing it over to any federal agency or local police service or state level that asks. But is Google...
And they're probably selling it, too.
Is Google the same? Oh, no, Google's worse.
Of course.
When you read through the Google response, it is a nightmare of twisted fuckery in terms of non-answers. How do you handle the data? I love the way that they respond to stuff. Google has a robust process for evaluating legal demands for former user data. Robust how? It doesn't matter, we just said it. When Google reviews such demands, it carefully reviews each request to make sure it satisfies applicable laws. If a request asks for too much information, Google tries to narrow it, and in some cases, it objects to providing any information at all. In every instant, Google takes into account the privacy and security expectations of its users. Can you cite any examples of this ever happening, ever? Google's Transparency Report, Help Center, and Frequently Asked Questions provides additional details regarding the common types of legal requests it receives, and 2, examples of what Google discloses in its response to requests. Jesus Christ, did you just send the FCC to your FAQ page? Yes, you did.
I think they did.
They did. They actually hot linked to it in the PDF response, Sinatra.
Well, it's because these large companies, these giant corporations, and I know someone's gonna be like, well, since spouting socialist rhetoric, they don't have the same laws we do. They exist on a different plane. They don't have the same issues.
That kills me. You actually hot linked to your FAQ in a response to the FCC chairwoman. My God. The air, like you're saying, like they operate on a different level, different plane of existence. You'd have to do something like that. I would never think to a legal inquiry responding with hot links that anyone on the internet can access. It's all right there. The fuck you asking me for? Who answered this?
When was this response tendered?
August 3rd.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder why they think they can get away with it now.
Right. Good point. Good point.
Terry, whatever. They do that with everything. PA and other states' DMV sells our licensing information to private organizations. Why are the states making money off of mandatory licenses? Because money.
Yeah. And far as I feel like that we shouldn't be surprised considering the way they handle YouTube backend shit. Yeah. I mean, think about it. This is the same company that runs YouTube, and you're thinking about the privacy and the way they use your data and the way that they change TOS and just run in it. Like, do their terms of service allow them to yeet you from the AdSense program, for example? It didn't until they did it to a few people and then retroactively changed their terms of service to allow them to do it.
Yep.
Jesus.
I was one of those people.
Yeah. I knew you would appreciate that one. Yeah.
It's shocking how much they can get away with because nobody's willing to stand up to them. Which is why, like, when they were talking about we're going to take YouTube to court, why don't you take YouTube to court? Stop being a lazy motherfucker. Take YouTube to court. Okay. I'm sure any lawyer I can get in Cleveland can go up against the fucking marching army of lawyers that YouTube can send in at their beck and call.
Yeah. And there is the other thing. Facebook and their army of lawyers and so on. Like, Zuckerberg's willing to go on Joe Rogan and say, yes, the FBI made this explicit statement about forthcoming Russian disinformation and an implicit description of the form in which that disinformation would come. And so therefore, we deranked and fucked over and contained the Hunter Biden laptop story. And he just says this. How do you feel that America is a very litigious place, that a class action violation of access to information or somebody coming after your 230 status, etc., wouldn't happen as a result of you saying these things? Because Zuckerberg is also the same guy that goes before Congress and refuses to answer questions without appealing to his Fifth Amendment rights. You cannot be compelled to be a witness against yourself, so you can, on constitutional grounds, not answer a question. Of course you can. Did he do that? No. How many questions did he refuse to answer? Oh, God, dozens upon dozens. I'll have to get back to you. I'll have to get back to you, Senator. He said that response more than any other one combined. Like, meaning all of his other responses are less than 50% of his responses compared to, I'll have to get back to you on that, Senator. Meaning, I'm going to go check with my lawyers and provide you with a typed up response, typed by them, that is so encrypted in nonsensical legal language that nothing bad will happen. The army of lawyers, like you said.
And that's the thing is, no matter what, the government can't really go in and crack down on it because the only course of action they have is legally. And if they have lawyers that are better than the government's, which probably, then there's nothing they could do.
Oh, Bar meant the hot links in the fucking response letter, the way they run the YouTube backend. Yeah, for those of you like who don't go to like YouTube Studio and like look around, it's just they are marketing to creators as much as they are marketing to watchers. When you're in the YouTube Studio backend, it's like how to support creators of color, how to do you know what I mean? How to do channel outreach. And if you ever watch one of those videos, it's just, you know, support creators of color, don't fuck around. We've got you.
Do what we say.
Yeah, we've got you hemmed in. Here's the few authorized ways this week that it's okay to operate. You know what I mean? Like when 2 Wednesdays ago, I got age gated, and I still don't know why.
You're not allowed to know why, sir.
Well, yeah, I mean, they did say why. You violated our community guidelines, which are like 10 pages long. Which one?
Oh yeah, I swear to God, they refuse to not give specifics for a reason.
Yeah. Hey, you want to look at a strange house just for lulz?
Yes. Whoa.
Far's watching too. Look at this Far. Look at
It's
this.
a fucking house titty.
or a landed shingle UFO.
House titty.
Yeah, so for $600,000 in Somonauk, Illinois. Somebody look up that. Tell me where that's from. Somonauk, Illinois. I'm saying Illinois now because I keep hearing people say it, so I might as well, you know, if you can't beat them,
Chat,
join them.
that's you.
Yeah. So let's just look at this fun house.
What?
And it's got a backwoods. I love that. I want a backwoods.
I got woods behind my titty.
Okay, so it gets fun inside. This is not like a shitty house. It's actually like a cool house. It's just weird. I mean, this whole place is only $600,000. I find that
only $600,000.
Freedom.
Well, we've looked at like shitty McMansions in Florida from Zillow before that are running at like $6 million, and they're not as big as this place or as interesting. No? Okay.
Yeah.
Shadowclaw, thank you for the $1. YouTube is screwing its creators. Fuck them. Well, yeah, Shadowclaw, you're not wrong. I mean, but situation normal, am I right? But fresh going on there. So moving along. I love how they got to go with the Wait, what? Are you watching the screen, Sid?
I guess that makes what?
Okay, yeah. You weren't watching the screen. I knew it. Wait,
I was looking. I looked over and I saw the doors. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. They're gonna have to be either in or out for the shape to retain. But why?
He's got like a pull-down screen if you want to watch a movie. That's.
I thought that you just put that.
No,
on there.
no,
Like,
not at all. Not at all. It's
okay, Daniel Craig comes with the house. That's cool.
And it's like, I don't believe that any projection screen is anywhere near that sharp because it literally does look like, yes, I just pasted that shot from, I believe, which Bond film is that? Spectre. That's from Spectre, I think. Anyway.
Yeah, I think so. We got the Sony Vaio right there.
Yeah, a little bit of product placement. Just a little. And for Sherman, thank you for the $4 and the kitty paratrooper. I come back and all I see is a weird looking boob house. Where's the other one? Why is it in the middle of nowhere? I'm so confused. Yeah. Wait a minute. You can't build a singular boob house. For Sherman has a point. Oh yeah. Big Gamer Cat asks a little bit. Jesus, where's Drunkle? I don't know. I thought he was on his way, but he hasn't.
Yeah, he
arrived.
said he was going to be here in 5 minutes, an hour and a half ago.
So I'm starting to get a little worried, actually. Oh, it has a bar, so that's sweet. I think this place is cool. I'm not gonna lie. And
it's not bad.
Here's the upper level, where shit gets really weird in terms of like geometry. I can see Far wanting to live in this room.
Why are do the floors need to go up like that? Is there some
Well, you saw.
structural reason.
Did you not see the shape of the outside of the house?
Yeah, but why do the floors need to go up at an angle? Like, can't they just go into the wall?
Well, they could, but I mean, no, they couldn't because did you not see the shape of the outside of the house?
Yeah, but I'm not understanding why the floors need to go up. All you're doing is making sure that the outside 3 feet of every room is unusable for pretty much anything that doesn't have 14 shims under it.
Right. Yeah. I think Far would like to live in this room just because the ceiling angles upwards and then curves on the side, so it's like visual distortion psychedelic room. And that's the way the world looks to her normally. So why not have the room coincide with that?
Also more concerning, why are there not things built into the already curved wall?
Like what? Things
like cabinets and shit?
Oh.
Like, I feel like you could not have just dead space right there. Like, imagine how much better it would be if you put the closets and cabinets and TV and all that on the outside wall instead of having just dead space there that you can't do anything with.
Wait a minute, look at this. Look at the door that's open in the doorway. Is it just me or is that door like twice as wide as the doorway?
Yes. It's probably not that one.
Oh, wait a minute. Look, am I to take those lines on the bedspread as a sign of visual distortion? Like, what the fuck fisheye lens did you use that caused all of this? Maybe the room's actually, square as a protractor. And they're just using a fuckery lens. I don't know.
Again, see, there. Okay, first off, carpet in the bathroom is disgusting.
Well, yeah, but it's just on the edge that you're probably not supposed to stand on because it's probably not well supported hanging out there. But yeah, carpet.
Which is why, stuff like the vanity and the mirror and all that should be on that wall instead of taking up other space. But okay.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, look at the fucking beams on the other side. Oh, this is definitely a fisheye fucking lens.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to show as much as possible, but I love this, man. I mean,
it's cool, but I want to see what it actually looks like, not the fucking Instagram filters over it.
Right. Yeah, this is distorted as hell. You can just see the way the room is crushing in the middle. And here's the upper level.
Yeah, dude, that's bad. But like, I know they thought they were going to use the fisheye lens to try to boofify it, but you're just making it look like a migraine.
I am fascinated to know what the fuck kind of curtains you would need to get that can...
They have to be retractable, like store shutters
that run inside of tracks. You know what I mean? There's nothing else you can do. You just have drapes that are pretending to be window covers.
Solid curtains.
Yeah. God, there's a lot of space up there. What's wrong?
I'm not a big fan of negative space. Like, what are you going to do with it? I like, if
Sing,
I have space in my
dance,
house,
live, laugh, and love.
You can't live, laugh, and love up in the air.
Maybe you can.
Legally. By the laws of gods and men, you can't. But like, maybe it's just because I'm used to being in small places. I've never lived in a spot that was bigger than fucking 1,200 square feet.
Oh,
but
weird.
Like, what?
I said, oh, weird. Like, it's just like a center hole all the way down to outside.
See, like this, you're leaving you're leaving money on the table by not putting a fire pole in there.
Well said, sir. I mean, what the fuck? Good point. I want a pole out of my house. You could be an axe thrower at the same time. It'd be great.
I don't like the idea of a house having space that cannot be utilized. Like all that empty upstairs space, why not build a small crawl space up there or something to store your fucking horseshit? This house has like no storage.
You mean because it's got so much airspace, create a third level, even if it's small?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like what? I don't like unusable space. Like that's why the area around the wall bugs me.
Where is this place again? Because Fake Gamer Cat says, and it's in Illinois. That's going to be a bitch to heat in the winter. But if you got $600,000 to buy funky UFO titty house, you're probably, not that worried about your utility costs. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's very true.
But yeah, I forget. It's in Shamunka Tunka. Illinois.
I cleaned a mansion once that had a fireman pole down the center of the 3-story staircase. It was very cool. Yeah, the fact that you don't have a staircase in there is ridiculous, or a fire pole.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's a heavy duty window. Look how thick the fucking wall is. Maybe it's crazy insulated. Like it's all, futuristic solar paneled to death. Like, I mean, obviously there weren't solar panels, but this is obviously the product of an unchecked mind, so
that would have to be like foam insulated or something.
Yeah. They probably went next level with its, I mean, have you ever seen these little tiny side facing fans?
Yes.
Have you? I've never have.
And then they spin too.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
The whole house is round. Where did you get the corner?
Well, there were corners before, but where's the fucking mirror?
Good question.
Does a vampire live here?
Yeah, where is... It seems unfinished without the mirror, doesn't it? Maybe they took it down so they could take the photograph. No.
Okay,
no.
there's one.
Yeah, but that's not the same place.
But it's still a mirror.
Yes. Yeah. Well, actually, it's 4.
Ah, that's stupid. It's just unnecessary, really.
Yeah. Do you think they pasted that in there? I think they did. The outside? I don't think that's really what's out there.
I think you're right.
They could have put a clown waving outside just to freak everyone out. I mean, they put a James Bond picture in that wasn't really there. Why not?
We have a story for Friday that's talking about terrible fucking media manipulation, and I can't wait to see your take on it.
Okay, let's do some Twitter shit. I'm gonna switch this for you, Sin, so you can see the video properly. Cancel. I'm streaming. How do you do the thing with the stuff with the change windows? This 2-screen. I can't live this way, Sinatra. Smoother video. 30 frames per second. Go live. There we go. Okay. All right. Did you know motherfuckers are just stealing shit? Like that they somehow got keys in Chicago to the USPS blue boxes?
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Watch. It's a Norwich police are warning people not to use USPS blue boxes after 40 mail thefts on 2 different occasions. The same fucking blue car pulls up and just yeets mail. Watch.
How?
Yeah, hold on. Is chat seeing this? Okay, yes, good. Okay, just...
I have a lot of questions.
Look at this. And yes, it's a man. And he just...
I mean, it's Chicago.
Yeah, he just walks up. He has a key. Like, somehow. He just grabs some shit, close it up. I'm out.
Is this not a federal crime?
Yes, it is a federal crime. Yes, it is, actually. I don't give a fuck. Did you see the lackadaisical way he just walked up? And they say, do not use blue boxes. Like, do not trust the United States Postal Service. Because they're completely insecure. So
unless you're voting.
Right. In which case, it's the height of freedom and security. I'm sorry, that blew my mind to watch. Like, he didn't even, like, he only did one look over his shoulder. This man did not care. All right. Let's talk about this lady here. I kind of wanted to save this for when Drunkle was going to arrive. His video and whatnots. But, whatever.
Bubble.
For Sherman, thank you for the $2. If I ever have my realtor show me a house like this, I will say, who made this? And how high were they? Why is there only one and not 2? It would be fun to watch them make excuses for the house. I would like to think that any realtor would have, like, answers at the ready upon viewing the house and staging it. You know what I mean? As they say in the realty game. Like, Go in there. It's like people are going to ask questions. I better have answers.
Yeah.
And if they're not good ones, I better make up some good ones. It was made by an insane genius. Yeah, that sort of thing. Built only by the LGBTQ community. Only trans construction workers were involved. Something to get CNN talking about you, you know what I mean? Okay, where was I? Free advertising, that kind of thing. Hold on, over there. All right. So we talked about this crash before, the video of it. She crashed. Nurse charged with killing 6 might have lost consciousness and suffered mental collapse before crash. She suffered mental collapse? No.
What did she have, a stroke?
Do you remember the crash that killed 6 on Van Nuys in LA?
Yeah, the lady that flew through the fucking light.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't remember, let's watch it again at half speed. Here we go.
Yeah,
half speed.
We covered this one.
What's that?
This is insane. We covered this.
Oh,
This
no,
is
I know we
fucking
did, but I'm saying for those of you who don't remember, here it is again in 1080p at half
Previously
speed. Yeah, exactly. Previously on the AAA.
I thought it came out that she was just fucking wasted.
Fuck! God. Have you ever seen people on gun channels shoot at a full, half full, and nearly empty gas tank and not able to make it explode?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was able to make it explode. Gas tanks are
another gas station, by the way.
Yeah. Like, gas tanks are well thought out to not explode. It's actually really impressive, I think, the way they managed that. But she overcame such designs. People were guessing on the scene. I was watching the video of them saying she was traveling an estimate between 50 or 60. No, 90. She was going fucking 90 miles
down
per
a
hour.
fucking surface street,
Yeah.
too.
The light had been red for 9 seconds. Think about that for a second. Like, count that out. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4. Like, that's a long fucking time to be going 90 and just flying.
Yeah.
And even at 1080p at 30 frames a second, she's still a blur. Her car, rather. I mean, let's watch her like enter the section again. Now you know where she's coming from, and just fuck, boosh. And how are you alive and basically unscathed? Yet you killed 6 people, including a pregnant woman.
She just missed the quantum jump.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, some people said that, 88 mile, Eric Gardner there, 88 miles per hour. Yeah, I guess the flux capacitor failed or something because she reached the right speed. I mean, she'll be cracking jokes because there's like dead unborn children and whatnot. It's terrible. But again, she suffered a mental collapse before the crash.
Does it go into any explanation?
Well, I can't just going down the rabbit hole of this story. She was a respected nurse. Now she's accused of killing 5 in horrific Windsor Hills crash. Yeah, well, that's an old story. It turned into 6. But if you keep reading down that little rabbit hole, you know what you find out? She had 13 prior wrecks before that crash.
How did she keep getting cars?
No idea. How do you crash 13? When you read through the types of crashes that she was involved in, cursing out police at the scene, etc., etc. How the fuck did you still have a driver's license? She's a traveling nurse that's actually from Texas, but she was on contract as a nurse. Totally a thing. Nurses travel around and take different, 6 months here, whatever. It must be extremely lucrative to do this because she's driving around in a fucking Benz. The fucking apartment that she was staying at was thousands upon thousands per month in a high rent district. Nurse Khaleesi's loaded, Sinatra. Loaded.
Fucking should be.
I mean, she's not just fine. She's rich. She's like our own little Jessica Alba. She's hot and rich.
All she has is a fucked up arm. Not even broken, just a
I know.
fucked up arm.
And I did see the bandages around her arm. That looks more like what are the suspension bandages called? They go by different names. What's the brand name?
Like an ace bandage.
Yeah, like an immobilization bandage. That's all it looks like. And I don't even think she needs to be wearing it. It's just she's
No, they just put something on her so she doesn't walk in there pristine.
exactly. And I mean, do you see the prison Velcro vest?
Dude, this is infuriating.
I know. And I do have to say this. I know it sounds like a weird point, but if you know any black women or have ever dated a black woman, she has access to hair care products.
Yeah.
Because your hair would not look like that otherwise. If you had just
Absolutely.
suddenly lost access to your hair care products and you had hair like that, your hair wouldn't look like that in prison. You understand what I'm saying? It's
No, not at all.
Where are you getting black woman specific hair care products in prison when you're wearing this vest? But clearly, I mean, you're charged with 5 murders. So you're not in like, local holding, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Nope, she's being well taken care of.
Yeah. So
Thus it is for LA, though.
We cut back. I mean, she has makeup on, bro. Look. What?
She's got to look the part.
I guess so. But she must have lost consciousness, might have lost consciousness or suffered mental collapse, says her lawyers. Yeah, you guys saw the crash.
The Patron, you're going to.
Well, I mean, what else are you going to say? It's like the joke that I always say about people that show up at the hospital with a gunshot wound in the leg. Their gun went off while they were cleaning it. Well, nobody believes you, but what else were you going to say? You were fucking around with a loaded gun and shot yourself, dumbass. So you claim it went off while I was cleaning it because you don't have any other explanation. When you drive into an intersection at 90, what else are you going to say other than you passed out behind the wheel or something like that? You know what I mean?
I feel you, again, I would respect you more if you were just honest about it.
Yeah. Oh, look, they're still running this ad. The New Jersey governor will cover costs to install solar if you live here. That's not the New Jersey governor. Like, even a little bit. And they have a titty lady that's the same ad, but it's just some titty lady with the same. What's that?
I'm not seeing what you're looking at.
The top right-hand corner, the bald black man with the gray beard.
Oh, yeah, your cursor's on the opposite side. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Discord people see my cursor in a displaced place. Now I could talk about. Yeah, now it's gone. Yeah, it just disappeared. Microsoft 365 for all your needs all year round. 365. It's terrible. Don't get it. It's what they used to call Office.
It was at the end of the sentence.
Yeah, I just started moving shit around again. I can't live this way. This two-screen bullshit. I find destruction of matter in black holes less confusing than how people run a stream with one screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how people do it unless they just have put nothing into it.
Freedom. Anthem, thank you for the $1. The nurse had her monthly blood loss. She must have been lightheaded and fell asleep at the wheel. Also, stop women from voting, and it doesn't end well. Saudi Arabia might have it right. But we've got UN experts saying that, America is the place you need to focus on because of Florida laws stopping you from talking about sex to 5-year-olds.
I think most people are okay with that, though.
I think they are as well, but not the UN. But they're apparently just not particularly bothered by the state of women throughout the Middle East. And basically under any Islamic regime. There, I said it.
The American people are tired of women.
I was hoping Drunkle was going to show up because I have a game, but, all right, I guess not. All right, fuck it. Here, let's just let's talk about guns, Sid.
Okay.
President Biden tweeted this out yesterday, that motherfucker that he is. I am determined to ban assault weapons in this country. I did it once before, and we will do it again. That's right. November's around the corner, and we are trying to electrify our base. Is it working?
Google changed the definition of assault weapon, by the way.
Did they? That's great.
Yep.
To what?
Semi-automatic weapons.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Trust me, we're going to get into it a lot on Friday because I have all the stuff about the F-15s and all that.
Oh, the F-15s. Nice. So we're going to get into the Second Amendment stuff just a touch. We'll call it a appetizer for Friday. How about that? Because we're running long, I was going to rant about it. But since you're going to do it Friday, we'll go hard on Friday. How about that? I'll bring some stuff.
Rant on Friday.
Yeah. The pathetic desperation of this, we are trying to activate our base. We're trying to motivate them because we realize there is a lack of motivation from the Democratic base. There is a lack of swaying of independents, and there is a huge amount of motivation for Republican voters. We know this. So January 5th, January 6th, we're going to push it. How long ago was that set of hearings supposed to end? A month and a half or 2 months by now?
Yeah, about 2 months.
Yeah, but November's coming, and Jesus Christ, inflation is getting worse, and Jesus Christ is the cost of living going up, and Jesus Christ is the press around Biden bad, and nobody wants Biden stumping for them in the this running on a Democratic platform. And will you support Biden if he runs again? No answer. This is bad. So the DNC, we need to activate our base to actually give a fuck. So January 6th, we need to stop Trump and Trumpism. Oh, well, that explains the Guardian articles and the spate of other things around ultra MAGA Trumpism that you hear constantly about now. Yeah. It's a threat to democracy and so on.
We talked about that a little bit yesterday. They try to play it off like it was something Biden just made up, but it turns out that it has been focus grouped for months.
Yeah. It absolutely. And you got Zed Hero pointing out, like saying, how about the gaslight polls? Yes, all of the polls that have suddenly been coming out about how the landslide expected victory on the Republican side is no longer guaranteed. That it looks like, yes, technically, the chances are pretty much 100% that the Republicans are going to retake the House, but only by a slim margin, not nearly as wide as they thought before, and they are not going to take the Senate. I have seen 3 different polls in the past few days talking about that. Ben Shapiro, doesn't matter whether you like him or not, the point is he's popular enough that even he had to address it. It's like, what is with the downturn in the excitement in the Republican base and the upturn in approval for President Biden? It's manufactured approval. And he suggests that. He's not lost to it. Yeah. Shapiro isn't lost to that idea. He gets it. He's like, okay, look where these polls are coming from. But should Republicans and conservatives rest on their laurels and just assume that it's going to be a huge win? No, because that's how you anesthetize your base to just sitting at home and doing nothing. You know what I mean? Guaranteed we're going to win. Yeah, it's not a good idea. So now they've moved on to, assault weapons ban. I did it once before, and we'll do it again. Oh, you mean the 1994 crime bill? Yeah, bring that shit up. You know, the one that had mandatory minimums for possession of crack cocaine and broke up how many black families? And right. The bill that was designed to stop super predators. Remember that one? Yeah.
The single most anti-black bill to ever exist.
Yeah, that he personally fucking wrote, and he'll do it again. Who wants to put who back in chains, Biden? You fucker. So somebody responds, Dennis Lynn Fields, and this is just the only reason I'm showing this on Twitter is 1, that Biden said this, and 2, further evidence to Twitter being Moss Isley, a wretched hive of scum and villainy. The Second Amendment literally prohibits you from doing it then and now, to which responds, nope, well regulated, right there in the 2A. Thanks, Marcel Delcato. Europe.
I've noticed that a lot of these people who are anti-gun nuts on Twitter aren't even American.
Oh, I know. The 240,000 people who like this tweet and the 30,000 who retweeted it, how many of them are, either American, even located in America, or most importantly, are registered to fucking vote? I mean, this is a bunch of like angry Brits at the Guardian hitting the like button over and over,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, oh God, finally, common sense. And this person is well regulated. His response, somebody responds to that with same with shall not be infringed. Try again. Well regulated. My response to you, Marcel, is this. Your thoughts on what well regulated, in terms of a well regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, what you think that phrase means is irrelevant. There is a body whose opinion of what that phrase means that is relevant. It's called the Supreme Court. And yes, I'm condescending you. It doesn't matter what you think it means. It matters what they think it means. And this is why Twitter fucking sucks. Because people that are ignorant is like, listen, you are ignorant as fuck. If it says well regulated, well, you can actually find out what that phrase means by the people who actually count. Just read the 2008 DCV Heller opinion, because they legally defined it. And it doesn't mean what you just interpreted it to mean.
They mean the militia, not the fucking firearms.
Yeah. And that the further implication is, if you are not part of a well-regulated militia, you have no right to keep or possess a firearm, to keep or bear a firearm. Is that really what you're saying? So you want people forming militias all over the place? I don't think you want that. And beside, the prefatory clause is not constraining upon the operative clause. Now, what does all that crap mean? Well, that's the actual interpretation of the Second Amendment as laid down by the Supreme Court, Marcel. Meaning it's not a limiting factor. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. One example of which is to form a militia. Stop. What does well-regulated mean? It doesn't mean regulation like in how big can your soda be or what kind of gun you can buy. Well-regulated means well-trained. Learn your colonial language.
You're speaking hate, sir. FBI will be there shortly.
And all of this, I am determined to ban assault weapons in this country. I'm reading through this article from NPR. Shooting spiked during the pandemic. The spike now looks like the new normal. Victim of gun crime. Gun violence often starts online, social media. Right. Okay. More guns, more shootings.
We have found that the exact opposite is the truth.
Look, watch this guy with no data try and present by naming numbers that his position on fuck all guns is correct. Okay, this is somebody working at the prosecuting attorney's office. Says the authors of this bill, of this article, in the Annals of Internal Medicine, estimates that 2.9% of U.S. adults became new gun owners during the pandemic. By extension, the authors estimate that 5 million children were, quote, newly exposed to firearms in their households.
Yep.
Okay. At the prosecuting attorney's office, Hung believes that irresponsible gun owners are part of the problem. Quote, I don't believe that we have emphasized or prioritized enough the secure storage of guns or responsible ownership of guns. And so kids are gaining access to guns either through, theft or people misplacing them and them just getting in the wrong hands.
I wonder what the figures of theft look like.
And this is what I mean. Theft or kid shooting. Is that what you're talking about? Accidental shootings? Are you talking about fucking homicides? Because you're talking about fucking homicides because you showed shootings. You're muddling everything on purpose. You're talking about accidental shootings. Children getting access to guns that they shouldn't have access to. Or when you say children, what do you mean? Do you mean a 16-year-old getting a hold of a gun and going shooting another 16-year-old? In Chicago? In Caprini Greens? I'll leave it at that because I like my channel existing.
Yep.
Is that what you mean? Because I think it is what you mean. It looks like the new normal. Okay, let's talk about what's normal. This is normal.
Yeah.
This is the trend in homicides.
Talk about this.
Yeah. Just in case anybody lost it. Oh, normal's good because it's a trend downward since 1992 steadily to the day. Downwards. It's like, oh my God.
It has been steadily going down.
Yeah. It's like, but all the school shootings. Okay, I hear you. Children being murdered is awful. But is that where the majority of deaths are coming from? And why are you talking about an assault weapons ban when the majority of homicides, not gun deaths, notice that the number is underneath 20,000 at its maximum? Wait a minute, I thought it was 34,000 deaths per year. That's the number I keep hearing. Yeah, because 60% of those are suicides, and the people that cite that number are morally repugnant and include suicides, hoping you'll assume that they're shootings in the street.
I saw a billboard today, actually, off 480, I-480 in Cleveland, that said, guns are now the #1 killer of children.
Okay.
Really? Are they?
Yeah, what? How did you have to constrain that to get that number to be
notice
true?
how they said cause of death, but killer.
Okay, so when it's like an intentional act where somebody was using a weapon on a Tuesday when there were no clouds in the sky,
Yeah.
the #1 cause of death of children, of infants,
There's
is
probably
guns.
42. I guess children just don't get sick anymore. No cancer, COVID doesn't affect them anymore.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
They just make this shit up and hope no one calls them out on it.
Virtually.
Or ban people who do.
Yeah. We've gone overly long, unfortunately. There's other things I wanted. Oh, wait a minute. I can't not show you this. Okay. The Thai zoo holds a escape drill with an employee in an ostrich costume. Okay, so what's going on, Sinatra? I said silence is confusion. What's going on here is that if animals escape, they need to have been practiced and drilled on what to do. So they have a man in an ostrich costume simulating an escaped ostrich and then practicing their containment drills. Okay, I'm just wondering if you're still there. All right, let's
It's just settling in. Please, we have video.
we have video.
Okay,
Yes.
please.
Okay. I'll show you my favorite part. Come on, load, you fucker. There it is. There he is. He's running around. He's gonna look, the guy with the net, and here's my favorite guy. Look, he's gonna look at him run. Look at him run. Look at him run with the big net.
Couldn't you just get those like 2 balls on a string and toss it at the ostrich?
Oh, a bolo? Yeah, fuck yeah, good call.
Yeah. Clackers.
I can't understand. I don't quite get why I find this man with the giant net chasing the man in the ostrich costume so funny.
Because he can't overly sell it, but he can't undersell it too. You know what I mean? He's got to actively look like he's chasing.
He's got to look like he gives a damn. And they got him. Look, they're bringing him to justice.
Oh,
you sit
ladies
down
and
here.
gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah. Hands behind your back, sir. It's... I love that they sat him on the curb like a perp. It's... yeah, I have one tab here of a strange unidentified animal.
I do like an unidentified animal.
Animal.
Aminal.
Okay, do you want to see the unidentified animal or the invasive species with retractable fangs? Your choice.
Animal.
You want to see the animal? Okay.
I assume invasive species with retractable fangs are just vampires.
They're not, actually. Well, they might be vampiric, for all I know. What the fuck? Where is it? I don't know. It's somewhere. There's the guy stealing from the mailbox. There's the people lying about gun stats. How do you do this on one screen? Because normally I could just, there's the fiery cauldron of death created by a rich nurse. Well, fuck. Oh, here we go. All right. Mysterious creature spotted slithering baffles people. Video. Okay.
All right. Let's see it.
There.
This is in India? Of course it is.
Yes. What is it?
That's just, it looks like a fucking
Hairless
diseased
cat? Yeah. It looks like a lot of people have guessed that it's a cat, but they're like, look at its nose. It's too. What the fuck?
Just deformed. It's a deformed cat.
There we go. With a nose that long, with a face that long. Close some tabs, Polly. No, I refuse.
Maybe a fucking hairless possum.
Okay, there we go. Let's enlarge an 8. All right. A hair. It could be a hair. Like, look how long his nose is. That's like a dog's head or a rat's head. See how long its face is? Do cats look like that? Its ears are two on the side of its head.
Yeah, it looks like a possum.
Like, look how patchy it is. Like, it could be anything.
A possum with mange, maybe?
Yeah. That's a fair guess, honestly.
Do they? I'm sure they have possums in India, right? They didn't eat them all yet?
They might have possums. Okay, I'm just looking at all the people that are called me here. Okay. So you're gonna have to look at the creature with retractable fangs. Let's enjoy the Chinese water deer.
That looks like something Australia would lose a war to.
Score. I only found out that these existed yesterday. The fuzzy teddy bear sheep kangaroo deer vampire.
That's just the deer version of fuck it. The one I just slipped my mind. Platypus. That's just the deer version of a platypus. God had a couple extra parts and he just threw them in a bowl and this is what came out.
Like, I see this in the front and I'm like, from like the chest down, I think that was an alpaca, but it ain't no alpaca. It is a fanged creature. Look at this one. Look at that. Those are retractable fangs. They go up in the nasal cavity and are only down when they're, and no, I'm not kidding about this, when they're in combat mode, they call it.
That thing's just ugly.
Yeah, because I mean, how would it munch grass normally with them fucking fangs out? Well, that's exactly why they retract and they're held in place by like this tendon muscle structure. It all happened because I was reading about the 243 Winchester as being like the minimum caliber you can hunt with in a whole number of states, except for, and most Western countries are like this, except in the UK where they've allowed the Chinese water deer to be hunted with 22 caliber. And I'm like, the Chinese what? The fuck is that? And I looked it up and lo and behold, this abomination, and it's an invasive species there. So the
saber-toothed deer, yeah.
Yeah. I find this thing fucking fascinating. It's so weird looking. And like, yeah, look how fuzzy they get. It's like you could shear them like a sheep.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a serial killer.
Yeah. All right, titular article time. I do not have dignity. I do. Phantomary can of hard Mountain Dew in Vegas ceremony.
You're right. They do not have any dignity.
That's right. Pun. So, yes. Do you love Mountain Dew enough to say I do? Jesus Christ, they're running.
Do-wop diddy dum diddy do.
They, meaning Mountain Dew, are literally running a contest where you write a love letter and a proposal to a can of Mountain Dew, and one with which you want to spend a lifetime of happiness together, and you will actually get married in the Little Vegas Chapel in Las Vegas.
You make my Baja Blast.
And what do you get for this public pronouncement of your lack of any dignity whatsoever? Well, you get to spend 2 days and 2 nights in an epic Vegas suite, and
sounds pretty good.
One of Las Vegas' hottest clubs you get to go to for your wedding reception, and $1,000.
Do you think they'd accept that entry? You make my Baja Blast.
At any rate, that is what we're going to try to do.
I'm going to say,
you make my dew hard.
Fake Gamer Cat, thank you for the $. Sorry, that's just my strange demon cat. I'll send a team to go get him. Your cat has like the mange or something. And Muscle donated. You son of a bitch. Muscle donated $3.50 with no words, because what more does Muscle need to say? Thank you very much. And so there it is, ladies and gentlemen. I do have a game, but it requires 2 people, and we've run massively over time because I was just sort of killing time until Drunkle got here, but then he didn't get here, so that's unfortunate. Oh well. I'm sure, well, I'll have a game for next week, and I won't have to put it together. How about that? Yay!
That's perfect.
So, Sin, are you doing a rollover? You got a video to put up? What's the deal?
I have nothing, but I am maybe going to record something after this to put up Friday night, but we'll see. Got to play it by ear.
All right, fair enough. I don't have anything to put up, and I'm not going over to Twitch to game.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I have to say. So where can they find us next, Sinatra?
Friday, my channel.
At 5:30 at 5:30
when.
Eastern and 5:30 a.m. on Christmas
Exactly.
Island.
Perfect.
Yeah. No rapid read, and the UK time I'm not certain of, but it's 5:30 Eastern. So I mean,
Yeah, that's the only time that matters,
yeah.
really.
Well, our
It's-
friends in the
it's
UK can account.
300 episodes. You guys know exactly where the fuck it is.
I'd like to think they do. So with that in mind, I thank everybody for showing up. I would sincerely like to thank everybody who donated. It's greatly appreciated. And we will see you all on Friday. Well wishes going towards Drunkle. I hope he's well.
Well, he said he was on his way home.
No,
so.
sincerely, I hope he's fucking well, man, because he kind of just disappeared. You should text him.
Oh, I did.
Okay. Well, it's not good that he didn't get back to you. Shit. In any case, we will see you over on Friday. We will see you over on tonight.